Jenny brought Shadow, Anne, and Beatrice back to her home. She hadn't been there since the day she was accidentally brought to Nightfall. Now that the Nightmare Tyrant was defeated, she finally felt safe returning to see her mother. Nora Wakeman had given Jenny a lot of good advice about how to save the world, but she hadn't told Jenny how to save herself. Nora had programmed Jenny with the capacity for love. She programmed her to love her mother, her friends, and, most importantly, herself. Jenny was so happy that she decided to fly home with Shadow and the others. She rang the doorbell, excited to see Nora again.
"I'm home, Mom,"
Jenny shouted happily. Nora ran to the door and opened it.
"It's J9.
She cried, hugging her daughter tightly. She'd missed her so much. Jenny and her mother held each other close.
"I'm glad to be home, Mom."
Before Nora could say anything, a loud ringing noise erupted from the doorbell.
That's odd.
Nora walked to the front door, her heart pounding.
Hello.
A man's voice came through the door's intercom.
Nora Wakeman.
Yes?
You are the only Nora Wakeman living in this house.
Yes? Liz? Yes, that's me.
Is your daughter Jenny at home?
"Yes? I'm Jenny."
Jenny, she was at the door, dear.
Jenny flew off and returned a moment later.
"A boy.
A boy.
Nora said, frowning.
He says he's your brother, Michael."
Jenny said nervously.
What?
"He says he's your only living brother, Michael. He flew all the way from Australia to see you."
I don't have a brother, Jenny.
Sorry for the lie,
Michael said, entering behind Jenny.
but I figured it was worth the trip.
Nora couldn't believe her ears.
Michael Morbius?
She asked, shocked to see him again.
Who?
Anne asked.
Michael Morbius. You are the great Morbius. You invented the technology that turned Garfield into a nightmare tyrant.
And myself into a creature of the night.
Morbius admitted.
Garfield's technology saved my life after I crashed on the island of Canth. He gave me my old shape so I could take revenge on his behalf. A nightmare tyrant. I've been trying to destroy him ever since. I am your brother.
Nora looked at Jenny, who was looking at her expectantly. Nora turned back to Morbius.
I don't know what to say.
She whispered.
Say you'll marry me.
Morbius replied. Nora's eyes widened.
Look,
She started to say.
It's the only way I can get back to Earth.
Morbius continued.
"This guy's a little weird."
Anne whispered to Beatrice. The bird nodded.
I'm not weird.
Morbius said.
I'm extraordinary.
"That maybe,
Anne whispered.
but I'm still standing here."
Nora looked at Jenny again. Her daughter was smiling at her expectantly. Nora sighed.
Morbius, why are you really here?
Nora asked.
I know you want to go to Earth, but can't you take anyone else with you? How about your inventions, or your money, or about your field?
Sorry, but I need a wife.
You need help, Morbius, but you won't get it from me.
Nora replied.
"I can help?"
Anne said quickly.
You don't understand.
Morbius said.
The blood-headed one has stand.
Who?
Anne asked. Nora looked at Morbius. He was looking at her.
The blood-headed one will destroy Earth if I don't get home to help stop her.
Stop who?
Anne asked, her expression one of total incomprehension.
The blood-headed one and the nightmare tyrant.
Morbius replied.
How?
Anne said. Nora turned back to Morbius.
How can you be so that the Night Tyrant, who you say you've been fighting for 20 years, is more powerful now than he was when you left?
The Nightmare Turret is dead.
Beatrice interjected.
We all saw the Nightmare realm collapse.
That was only because of my intervention.
Morbius said.
He's more powerful now. I have reason to believe that he has found a way back to our world.
Don't be foolish.
Shadow said.
He's never been here before.
The Nightmare Tyrant has many servants.
Morbius said.
Some hidden, some known only to him. One of them was in this very house.
Another me.
Nora asked.
No, but if one of his minions is in this house, he might be able to get to Earth. I need to go back. I need you to marry me, Mrs. Wakeman. I need you to go with me.
I can't do that. Morbius,
Nora replied.
I can't abandon this place or my work here. I have to stay.
I realize that.
Morbius said.
But I love you.
And I love you.
Nora said.
But we can't both go to Earth. One of us has to stay here.
I know.
Morbius said.
I know. But I love you. Love me. I've never met anyone like you before. If I go to Earth, I'll never meet anyone like you again. I'm willing to give up everything for you. Please, I can bear to lose you. Would you be willing to?
Would I be willing to what? Morbius?
Would you marry me without going to Earth?
Nora nodded slowly.
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Morbius sighed. He looked at Anne, then at Jenny.
It has to be your choice.
He said.
It can't be my choice.
If you want us to go with you.
Anne began.
No.
Morbius said.
I need to go with my true love.
I can't go with you. We're not getting anywhere.
Nora said in a huff.
Michael, you'll need to give up on Earth. Folks focus on the healing now.
Nora,
Michael said.
I can't.
I mean it.
Nora snapped. Nora looked at Jenny. Jenny smiled encouragingly.
Okay, then.
Nora said.
If the blood-headed one has stirred, then there's a chance she's awakening. And if the Nightmare turret was defeated, but isn't gone, then we need some way to defeat him should he return.
I have a way.
Morbius said.
You do.
Nora asked.
Yes.
Morbius said.
My machines. If I can get back to them, they can help us stop the Nightmare Torrent once and for all.
You really think they can help?
Jenny asked.
I don't know.
Nora smiled.
I'll go with you always.
She said.
I'll help you build your machines.
You will.
That's right. Like who?
Nora said.
But no funny business. This is strictly a matter of saving the world.
Of course.
Morbius said solemnly. They looked at each other again, and this time it was they who kissed. Jenny said, looking away. They pulled apart, and Morbius stared at Nora happily, his heart swelling with joy.
That's great.
Anne said sarcastically.
But what should we do now?
What do you mean?
Nora asked.
We can't just go wandering off to another galaxy.
Anne said.
Well, we could build a time machine.
Beatrice said.
Or a portable time machine. That would get us back in a jiffy.
I don't know how we could possibly use them.
Anne said.
Well,
Nora said.
in the original pilot episode of Doctor Who, the Doctor uses one to travel back to the Second War to try to convince the English to join the French in the fight against Napoleon. He doesn't get very far before he runs into the Time Lords. The Time Lords stop him because they are good guys, of course. But maybe we could use the same technology to get to, say, the 21st century.
I don't know. That sounds really dangerous.
Beatrice said.
It'd be really dangerous.
Anne said.
Well, there's no harm trying.
Nora said.
I can't build us some sort of portable time machine,
Anne said.
but I'm still not sure how we can use it.
Well, what about this?
Nora said.
If we go back far enough, we can get the Earth back to the way it was before the Nightmare Torrent started changing it, when no one was at home, and if everything was.
Fantastic.
Michael said.
I knew you'd come up with something.
How far back do we need to go?
Jenny asked.
I think I can build it.
You will.
Anne asked.
We were going to go back and fix everything.
Beatrice asked.
That's the plan.
Michael said.
It is.
Anne asked.
But
Yes.
Michael said.
But we'll need some help from the Time Lords.
The Time Lords.
Shadow asked.
But they're not real.
Yes, they are.
Michael said.
And so are the Daleks. And the Witch King of the Nuns. And the Yeti. They're all real. They were just fictional characters.
So, if we go back in time to when all the characters were made, the Daleks, the Yeti, and the Nerds would all be here to help us, then.
Yes, but we need to go to the right place.
Michael said.
I don't know exactly where that is, but there are clues, so I need to ask the Witch King what we should do next.
Jenny looked at Nora.
Mom, who's this weirdo? Really?
Nora blushed.
He's.
She began.
I know who he is. Hey,
Shadow interrupted.
but they're not real. Really?
Shadow, how can you say that?
Anne asked.
I mean, I don't know.
Shadow said.
I just can.
What about those other worlds that the Nightmare Torrent made?
Michael asked.
They were real, aren't they? The worlds he made with his dark magic, those are real.
Are they?
Anne said.
They would be if anyone believes his lies.
Jenny said.
Okay, we'll figure all this out when we get to the paste.
Michael said.
Michael Morbius, your mind has been darkened.
Shadow said sternly.
You know better than that.
Fine,
Michael said.
but I can't wait to get back to the 21st century. I'll never have to eat Burger King again.
You don't understand.
Nora began, but Anne interrupted her.
I hate Burger King.
Anne said.
I can't believe you ate there when you were my age.
So we were going.
Michael asked. Nora and Anne nodded.
Yes.
Yes.
They all stood there looking at each other. The future held before them. They were going back to stop the Nightmare Tyrant from taking over Earth. They were going to save the universe. It was a daunting, terrible, wonderful task. They were all a year older, more beautiful, more extraordinary than they had been when they were 12 years old. And the future still held more wonder, more terror, more beauty, and more dread. It always would. In the hovercraft, Michael Morbius looked at the sky.
The Nightmare Torrent.
Michael said.
I can't believe he's real.
He is.
Anne said.
And he'll never be stopped, no matter how hard we try.
We'll see.
Michael said. And they rode the waves of time towards a future that was already coming into being. The first thing they saw when they arrived was the great stone head, staring blankly at them from atop its pillar.
Here it is.
Nora said.
No wonder we couldn't find it.
All my work.
The old man cried.
All my work ruined.
I'm sorry, father.
Michael said.
That's the nightmare turret.
The old man said.
That's his head. He's trying to destroy my work.
Stay calm, father.
Beatrice said. The man looked her up and down.
Why isn't she wearing the hat?
He demanded.
She's not part of our team.
Nora said.
She's just along for the ride.
You were working for him.
The old man cried.
Hush, father.
Morbius reached for his sword.
I will not.
The old man cried.
We'll return this to you or you'll...
Stop.
Beatrice cried. The old man froze, looking from one of them to another.
There must be some way for you to stop him.
Beatrice said.
You don't understand.
The man said.
He's become Nightmare Turret. That's what was needed to open the portal. It's what I needed to create the Nightmare Realm. His head was the key.
Then we take it.
No, we can't.
The man said.
We must.
Beatrice said. The old man glared at her.
You're just a stupid bird.
He said.
We saved the world.
Beatrice said.
And if you don't help us, more worlds will die.
You stupid bird.
The old man said.
Do you have any idea how much power it takes to become Nightmare Turret?
We'll figure it out.
Beatrice said.
We have to.
Michael, take him.
Nora said.
We can just leave him here.
Michael said.
He'll be killed.
We have no choice.
Nora said. Michael hesitated. Then he walked over to the head.
I'll take this.
He said, lifting the head. Michael turned to the old man.
We'll return it to you in a moment.
I should never have created him.
The old man said, looking at the stone head.
I should never have awakened him.
You couldn't have stopped him.
Michael said.
Maybe I should have tried.
The old man said.
Maybe I should have tried harder.
Michael said nothing. He could see the despair in his old friend's eyes.
Michael, please.
Come on.
Michael said, turning away from the old man.
No.
The old man whispered.
Wait, what are we going to do with his head?
We're going to destroy.
Michael said.
Destroy.
The old man cried.
You can't destroy it. Only the Nightmare Turret can destroy it.
I guess we'll have to be rid of it.
Michael said.
Wait, why do you want to take it?
For a moment, Michael wanted to tell him the truth, but then he thought of all the other worlds that were already lost. The truth wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to justify this.
We're not murderers.
The old man shouted.
No.
Michael said.
We're just opportunists.
I can't leave him like that.
The old man cried.
You have to.
Michael said.
I can't.
Michael disappeared with the head, leaving the old man sobbing. Nora and Jenny looked around at the others awkwardly.
We should go.
Jenny said.
We can drop him off at the fort once we're done.
That's actually a pretty good idea.
Nora said.
Thanks for suggesting it, Jenny.
No problem.
So they dropped the old man off at the fort before returning to their own time. When they returned home, they saw that nothing had changed.
Michael must have failed.
Nora said, shaking her head.
We need to try again. We need to think of everything we didn't think of before.
Should we just go back to the past and try again?
Jenny asked.
No, we should focus on the present.
Beatrice said.
The past is the past. Meddling with it too much will only cause more problems.
I still say we should go back and try once more.
Anne said.
We might not have a choice. We might not have a future. We might not have a past.
But at least we'll have each other.
Jenny said with a smile.
And that's all that really matters.
Anne said, smiling back. And together they set off on their journey into the far future. So I decided to end it there, because frankly it was just kind of getting too weird. I'm not sure where I expected this story to go, but I wasn't really expecting it to be like this. When the AI introduced a Michael character, I checked what Michaels were available on UberDuck, and I saw that Morbius was one of them. And at the time that I was writing the story in AI Dungeon, the Morbius meme had already died out, and I knew that I would actually be releasing the video much later than that, and it would be probably extra dead. But, you know, this series was already built on dead memes to begin with, so I decided to keep them around. I thought it'd be fun. The weird underscores that the AI used for emphasis on certain words, just like a weird quirk that AI Dungeon used for this story. I don't know why. You may have noticed some other older chapters also have like weird typeface things that the AI Dungeon just adopts for a little while. I left them in for authenticity's sake, and also, you know, I think it's kind of funny. But that's why there's just random underscores around some words in this chapter. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you happen to miss the previous chapter, though, here's a little clip.
It is the throne of King Arthur.
Zoidberg said.
Arthur, King Arthur.
Meg said.
Well, that's a story. That didn't really happen.
That is a story you'll come to realize.
Zoidberg said.
This lobster's full of lies.
Sandy said.
There's no way this was Arthur's throne, and this place has nothing to do with Gorfino.
Perhaps.
Zoidberg said.
But Arthur is the only other powerful elf alive, thus he has the only real throne.
Sandy whacked Zoidberg on the head.
Oh, it hurt.
You're crazy.
She muttered.